Thank the Lord we living it. A springboard we giving it. RKL experience. New money we touching. New goals we crushing. RKL experience. Thank the Lord we living it. A springboard we giving it. RKL experience. New money we touching. New goals we crushing. A new vibe go crusher. The topic discusser.
Welcome to the RKL experience.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the RKL experience. It is your boy Ryan, and we got a goodie today. We got a real goodie today. I made a phone call. To a young man that, I've been watching him for a long time. Not on no crazy stuff, but I've been watching him for a long time. Met him a good 15, 16 years ago. And from afar, I've been seeing his growth. Now, I'm a fan of his, and he's known that from day one. But I've been witnessing his growth within his field, and his field is music. He is a music artist. He is someone that I don't want to put in a box. You can't put him in a box. He's someone that his music speaks for itself, and it comes off to me as genius. But you'll see exactly what I mean. Went to school with this young man. I'm so excited that he was able to come on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to bring my brother on, Marlo. What it do, my guy?
What's going on, Ryan? Appreciate you. Thank you for having me on the show, man. I'm excited to be here, man. This is, my first, podcast, and like I just feel like there's no better way to do it than with family. So like you said, it's been a long time coming. It's been quite the journey.
Yeah.
Right, to say the least. And yeah, man, I'm ready to chop it up, man. Like I don't know what you got in store, but I'm ready to share what I can share.
Now listen, you don't know what I got in store. I don't know what I got in store. That's why I know it's gonna be monumental. And let me just take it back real quick. Before I get into my first question. What popped out of mine, I think it was about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
We on spring break. We back in college on spring break or whatever. Yeah. And, I don't know where to go. Marlo's like, yo, come down to South Florida. Come hang in the hood for the week. Come chop it up. Yo, that trip right there showed me everything I need to know about this man right here. And now his music speaks for itself. We're going to get into all of that. But first and foremost, this moniker of Black Boy.
Yeah.
Black Boy. What is Black Boy? Because when I call Marlo, I call him Black Boy.
Yeah.
What is Black Boy?
Man, Black Boy. So Black Boy is my first project. So we're gonna talk about the music. I was toiling with the music my whole life, for real. So like, I grew up. My mom played the keyboard, and she kind of threw me on that for a little bit. And then in elementary school, I started to play the bass guitar. And then I dropped that. When you were a kid, you just kind of just jumping around doing a bunch of stuff. And then I ended up in school playing the tuba, and
wow.
Yeah, and like I could have got a good scholarship for that, but I wanted it wasn't cool, so I opted to play basketball and not make it to the league, right?
Okay.
So, but music's always been there, and I used to play with it even with the rapping, and 2018 I dropped my first project, Black Boy, and it was called Black Boy because it was five songs in all Black Boy 1, Black Boy 2. It's a series, but they're always 5 songs because I always wanted them to represent the five senses. So 5 different aspects of one being a black boy in America, but then also just bringing that the experience of the five senses, how you experience life, right? Like bringing that into it. And it just became something that was, it became bigger than that for me, right? At that moment, it was like, wow, nah, like this is who I am. So like I am Black Boy, you know? Like it started as a concept, in a way to package the art. And then in turn it ended up being like, yo, this is actually who you are. So this is how we gonna run with it.
You see, I never knew that. I did notice the 5 songs, and you spoke about life. I think track 1 on Black Boy is actually called Life, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it is. It is.
And you start off, you give big shout out to your hometown.
Yes, sir.
Florida, South Florida.
Broward County, yeah.
Broward County. And
Yeah.
then you just go in. You've been at this for a while now. I mentioned we met back in college, and you was doing your thing back then. I was doing my little rapping thing back then.
Yeah, you was really doing it back then. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like
man.
that was, you know what I'm saying. To keep it a bean with you, like that was something that I could look at. You know what I'm saying? At that time, and be like, oh shit, I could like, maybe I could. You let me know I could. Yo, you could probably do a little more with this. You know, I was scared, bro. I was like I was scared to be like, yo, I'm a rapper, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so like for me it was like, oh, I could do this, you know? Like it was like I could do this, and but I never really took it serious like that. But so thank you for that.
Man, appreciate
for that, man.
That's big. Appreciate that. So yeah, we back in St. John's, and I'm doing my music thing. You start doing your music thing. We start kicking it. To be in this music space for all of these years, you gotta pull from somewhere, because it's not easy to be in any space for over 15 plus years. Not easy at all. And the fact that right now you're at the height, like you're at the height so far of your music career. We're gonna get into some of your new music, which is super fire, by the way.
Thank you.
But what have you been pulling from all this time to stay relevant, to stay, motivated to keep releasing new music? Is there a person? Is there, where have you been pulling from?
Nah, that's a good question. I mean, I feel like for me music is therapeutic, right? It's like how you journal and all that, right? So like I personally consider myself, I consider myself actually doing music as a business and running it in that fashion since 2018. But like I've been rapping for 20 years, you know what I'm saying? I've been writing little stuff and scribbling, but you know what's crazy is when I left St. John's, I was in a bad place because I lost my scholarship. I had an academic scholarship. I lost that, because we was having too much fun.
Running around, being young and crazy.
Having a lot of
that's
fun.
another podcast.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's another, yeah. But, we was having too much fun. So I ended up losing my scholarship, and it was like, it's expensive school.
Yeah.
Right? And so I ended up going back home. I ended up going back to Florida, Broward. And to be honest, it was tough for me. Like it was really tough. I had built this, like, you go to college. Like I went away from home. I built like these friendships, like, the boys, like these friendships that have lasted the test of time, and and then I was just kind of back in this place, and it was a depressing state. Like, so I wasn't too happy. I ended up transferring. I ended up going and finishing school. I went to FAU and finished there, but it wasn't like the same experience, right? I wasn't, I was a little more closed off. I ended up like, running around in the streets with, doing things that I probably shouldn't have been doing, that too crazy, but like, like again, just like in a different mind frame. So, so for me, once I started writing for real, like I started like writing those things down, it became like I don't know, like a release. Like it became therapeutic. Like the process became therapeutic. It also made me think clear. It also at a time where it's your spirit. You don't. There's no mirror for your spirit, right? Like physically, you could go to the bathroom and look in the mirror, and you'll see a reflection and know. But and I think that's what music does for me, right? When I write, like I can look at my spirit and kind of understand where I'm at that very moment in that space and time in life. So that's honestly, man, that's probably the biggest thing that's like that keeps me going, right? Is that ultimately it's like I need to do this. It's really for me. It's not necessarily for anybody other than me, right? That's where it starts, you know. But then after that, which is also tough because I think I've for a very long time I was writing music and it was just for me, and I was like kind of like this, and then I started like, oh, I need to put the music out, and then that makes it tough because then you're like, oh, well, it's you start to be overcritical, right? And things like that, and like, yo, is somebody they gonna fuck with this or not fuck with it, blah blah blah. But I think the evolution in that was like it's therapy for me, so it could be therapy for somebody else, right? So like once it's done, it's not for me anymore, right? It's not mine. Like I do have to package it properly. I have to, do these things properly. Like, think about, how to serve the dish, but you got to serve the dish because it's no longer yours. So yeah, for me to keep going for this long, is just one, like knowing that I have to do it for fulfillment in life, life fulfillment, and then also, once that art piece is done, it's not for you. You can help people with it.
You can help people. Now, you don't know this, but you're gonna find this out because we are on the RKL experience.
We are. We are.
You said you were going through some things, and in 2018 you dropped Black Boy. Now here's the thing. You've been very consistent since then. Like I said, I'm a fan. You dropped Black Boy 2018, then you dropped a couple singles in 2019, the Drip Joint. Then, 2020 you came along and you dropped another EP. The one where you're talking about, my album, I'm taking too long to drop the album.
Honestly, I'm taking too long to drop the album.
2021 came, Black Boy 2.
Yeah.
And then your baby last year, because you was touring with last year.
Yeah, I did a lot of shows last year.
But here's the thing, because I want people to really realize the effect of your music. I actually got a song queued up. It's a single you dropped. He don't know this, but we gonna play it anyway. It's a single you dropped called Flaws. And here's what Flaws did for me. See, I'm a huge Martin fan. You got some wordplay with Martin and Tommy and Cole in there.
Yeah.
But even bigger than that, you spoke about one day potentially being a father.
Yeah.
And you spoke about if it was to happen, everybody's going to know about your son. You spoke if you had a boy. And even if you and the mother didn't work out, you going to make it right.
Yeah.
And you gonna hold her down to the casket, to the cat.
Yeah,
like hearing those lyrics and becoming a new father, and then hearing that, I never even hit you up with this. Like, yo, this dude, this is crazy.
That's crazy.
So I actually want you to. I got it queued up. We on RKL Experience. I got it queued up right here.
Word.
Hopefully we all set up. But I just want everybody to check Flaws out. And then we gonna jump into it. So I hope I'm queued up. Let me see.
Yeah. Hey, she a tenderoni, niggas just jabronis. Met her in Atlanta. Then I caught the Ronies. I got all these homies. How I'm always lonely, like I'm trying to fill a space and find some time to get to know me, dawg. You used to be my Cody. I was Marty Marr, you was Tommy, word to Cody. He had a rollie on his wrist, but we both knew that wasn't no rollie. What that got to do with homie? It was always about your soul, it wasn't never about what you sold me. About this shit, I made some tears drop. Red eye, flights without the Visine, eye drops. How come my spleen to give you what I got? I said I'll never be the biggest. You said why not? Shit. Around the way, these niggas live inside the pine box or live inside the Section 8 tenement with a shoebox that's holding all the cash that they got from ducking the blue ops. And who am I to be the only nigga that flew out? Ay, and who am I to be the only nigga that you not? Listen, a lot of niggas out here playing for the same team, working every day, but they ain't playing for the same dream. Wake up every morning, they ain't praying for the same thing. Ever heard the story? You could bend, but you ain't breaking. Well, this is not that shit. I like to meditate, I like to levitate, I like to elevate, yeah. And so I dedicate this to all the soldiers that, well, they have fallen down, so they at heaven's gates, yeah. Until the niggas that's alive that I can never take with me. I'm ducking shells like I'm allergic to lobster. Until the reaper come here knocking, and I know I'ma prosper. When that paint dries, Basquiat is only a martyr. Hey, I pick and choose when I lose, so it's still a cruise. I live my life inside the sun, so you can't see the bruise. And if I'm blessed to have a son, you gotta see him too. And if your mama don't work out, I'm still gonna see it through. And if your mama hear this shit, then she gon' have a fit. But she don't know I got her back until that casket dips. We never know what God got written in his manuscripts. So like when opening that door, you gotta handle it. Yeah. All I got is $187 in my account.
So just send that right now. Just send
Yo, that's a real call. That was a real call from a scammer. I don't even know this dude's scam, like trying to call me and was like, yo, to send him money so I could perform at Rolling Loud. And I get a lot of you get a lot of weird shit like that, bro. And I was like,
But you was playing along with this game, or you
yeah,
thought it was for real?
Nah, I was playing along the whole time. And I was like, yo, we gotta record this. We recorded it. And then I had it for a while, and I was like, oh shit, I could use this for this. I want to use this for the end of this. But yeah.
Yo, first of all, flowers to you. Because that 1 minute and 35 seconds right there, you said a lot. And it's just genius how you named it flaws. Like, we all have flaws. And 9 times out of 10, people don't embrace your flaws. But that's who makes us who we are. Like, embrace the not so good that you think about you. Because that not so good could be what makes you, great.
That's what I be saying. Like I say, like, you gotta take the bad with the good, right? Every coin that has heads has tails, right? Like people like to pick and choose. Everybody got flaws, bro, and a lot of times, like, you see it a lot. Like, there's a disparity. Like, there's usually if somebody's flaws are super glaring, then most of the time their superpowers are also super glaring, right? And yeah, man, I try not to be judgmental. But again, a song like Flaws for me is a therapeutic song. I was like going through some things and I put that down, and it's something that like I said, man, it's something that you can hear and you can feel something from. So I think, like, again, like you take these things. That's me taking a moment of, like, of uncertainty or disdain or these things, and then just turning it into art and channeling it the right way.
Man, and that's what art is right there. That's what, who'd ever thought, like, you get a whole bucket of colors and mix them together and, throw them on a canvas and you come up with, the Mona Lisa or something like that. So music is the same exact way. Now, you had a skit with a phone call.
Yeah.
Let's say you get a phone call right now.
Right.
Hey, Marlo, this is A&R from, whatever record label. We love your project. We want to bring you in. We want you to sign a deal. What are some non-negotiables? Like, these. Yeah. That's why some people go, independent, because the label wants them to be a whole new artist that has nothing to do with, who they are. What are some Marlo non-negotiables? Like, yo, nah, I can't. This is me. I'm not changing that.
I'm tough. Like, I'm a stickler, bro. Like, I don't be liking a lot of shit. I'm independent for a reason, to be honest. Like I've had the opportunity to like be signed to some smaller deals and things like this, like major crazy. But like for me, my partner is TuneCore. They're
Shout out to TuneCore.
Big shout out to TuneCore. Shout out to Mel. Papoose just became the head of a global hip hop desk.
Okay.
We linked up last week. Super cool dude. And but yeah, man, like I feel like creative freedom is, you know, paramount for me. Like, and like I think creative freedom isn't just like creative freedom really means creative freedom, right? And I think that a lot of times artists say that it's kind of like you see like, I don't know, like Yachty just dropped a new project and it's like he got like a completely different sound. I feel like that excites me the most.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? When artists when you take it somewhere else, right? Because I don't like the monotony. It's a copycat industry, right? So like a lot of times you gonna go in there, you talking to label heads, you talking to people, man, and they talking to you about whatever this artist doing and this artist doing, like, oh, this is how, you know, this is how the speed of the song that Lil Baby is on, or like, you know, all that, like, and that shit is whack, bro. That shit, like, it's just it just takes the color out of the world, man. Like, and you know, I think there's a difference between, you know, good business and good art, and I think a lot of times there's a lot of I truly do it for the art, you know what I'm saying, and I definitely do it for business as well. But like it starts like at the core of it is the art, and I feel like a lot of times, you know, they try to strip that from the artist, and you know make them do whatever is working over here. Like I'm not like a, I never say never, but I'm not like a TikTok artist. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not like in the customary way of a TikTok, like, you know, like I'm not doing all this in the thing. You feel what I'm saying? That's just not what's happening. But
Yeah.
and respect to anybody that does all that, you know what I mean? But like you got to know yourself, man, and like, cause if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything.
Yeah.
You know, and then you gonna be out here. It's gonna be spooky.
It's gonna be. Now, listen. Told you I'm a fan, right?
Yes, sir.
Told you I'm a fan. So I'm gonna name a couple tracks and just take me back to what space of mind you were in when you made these tracks. What were you going through?
Yeah.
I'm gonna name a couple of my favorites. We went through Flaws. I told you Flaws is one of my all-time favorites.
Yeah.
Then you also on Black Boy 2, you dropped Penny Loafers.
Yeah.
You dropped Penny Loafers on Black Boy 2.
Yeah.
Now Penny Loafers is just how it sounds. You got Penny Loafers on, there's nothing bothering you, and he's just flowing. He's flowing on Penny Loafers. Where were you when you created that timeless piece of work?
First of all, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, because that is one of my favorite records. I feel like, you know, again, in the landscape, I feel like sometimes records like that don't, you know, they don't hit in the way that people, you know, see things hitting. But again, like when it's really touching people, a lot of people love that record. Where was I? I was in Jersey. I was in the dope hole. That's why I called it a dope hole, because we used to live in like a 3-family home. I used to live in a basement.
Okay.
And my engineer, B Hall, shout out to B Hall, and producer, you know what I'm saying? He used to live next door, like literally next door. Like he was living somewhere else, and then like one day he was like, oh, he's moving, and his address ended up being like the address to my next door to me. Same type of setup, he in the basement. So I used to be in there with my boy Kelv, man, and and he produces. He's done a lot of creative direction stuff for me, man, and like. And that's my brother for real. And one day I was like, yo, we need to. This was Penny Loafers was probably like, damn, was that like right before the pandemic, during the pandemic, something like that? But yeah, man, we went over, and B Hall had I went down there. We went to go mix another record, and when I went down there, he was playing the beat. And it just took me that record kind of wrote itself, to be honest. Like it's yeah, like say, yeah, I know I'm the shit and I step in it. Get the love in the city, I'm revving it. I've been taking my time and it's effortless. Taking Ellen, I'm feeling degenerous. You
The
know,
line, the
yeah.
Ellen DeGeneres one, that had me like throw it back a couple times. And that was the first 4 bars. Like,
yeah. That one was and and really that really didn't take much time. I went down there, did that record, and then we got back to mixing another record. But that was the I think after we did Penny Loafers, I was like, oh, okay, like I think we're ready for like Black Boy 2. Like let's start kind of like putting that together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super dope. Super dope. Let me get to one more. This is actually, like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. On your last project, Florida project, you got a track on there that is my go-to to get hype. Like, not get hype that I'm but it gets me in the spot. Like, on my way here, I had that on repeat.
Which one is that?
Cartier Rallo. Just from beginning to end, and then the hook is catchy as ever. But then the bars you spit in there and the cadence you have, what were you thinking when you put that together?
Yo, so Cartier, man, that whole so basically we dropped Project Florida like August, September last year, something like that. So the year before that is March, April, something like that. We went with Vinny, shout out to Vinnyographer. Me, Vinny, Millie Management, the whole gang went down to Florida, and we wanted to shoot 3 videos in 24 hours. That's when we shot Bitch, we shot Flutter, and we shot Hellas Lauderdale, all in 24 hour span. And in between time, so like we shot, like it was crazy. Like it was like a test of like endurance. Like we shot
Like some gladiator type thing.
facts. Yeah, we shot Flutter, and then we went back to the crib. I recorded Sunshine and Mangoes.
Dope.
And then we shot back out. And then we shot Bitch, and then we shot Hellas Lauderdale, and then we came back, and I don't think I did anything else that
So
night.
you shot all of those within
all within 24-hour window. 3 videos, and we did Sunshine and Mangoes as well. We recorded that. I released the video too. I didn't put too much fanfare behind it, but like it's the whole video is basically a in studio performance at that time, because we were just documenting everything. We got like a lot of footage from that. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, one day that'll be put into that whole, the archives where you be looking at the Motown shit. Be like, maybe it's gonna look a little like black and white footage, but no, we shot that, and then we were supposed to leave, and I was like, yo, honestly, I already got all y'all here, man. I'm gonna go get another Airbnb and let's just go and cook up. And we cooked up the whole Project Florida right there. That was another 2 days maybe. So that whole project, that's why it's called Project Florida.
Project Florida. Right?
Because we did all those records in that time. It was me, Vinny, Kel, B Hall, Jesus, and like, yeah, and that was it.
Yeah.
So Cartier Rollo, yeah, we Calvin produced that, and he's like one of my favorite collaborators because he's like, I never know what's gonna come from him, right? He makes like boom bap beats. He makes a record like Cartier. He just got a lot in his bag, so it's like he came up with that. I was in a room. I came out. I was like, wait, what's that? And again, it don't really be taking me too long to like really put a record down.
So how important to you, or is it important that you stay true to your roots? Like, I'm gonna be honest, Broward County,
Yeah.
before me and you, I never heard of it. You hear South Beach and just Miami, but Broward County now, I know that's like Fort Lauderdale and all that.
Yeah.
How important is it
Pompano
to
Beach.
keep that in your music? Because you let it be known, like, yo, that's home. That's where I'm from. That's the stomping grounds.
Yeah, man. I think it's important. I think like, like, I think as of late, to be honest, I've been trying to, like, I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a box because I'm not like just from Broward, right? I feel like, I was born in New York, right? And like, I spent all my formative years in Broward County, and that's like kind of really like, the important years that you really start finding yourself as a youth.
Yeah.
And I've been back and forth ever since. So like, I feel like half of my life I've been in New York, half of my life I've been in Florida. So I like have a unique experience. But I think most people, like, you could just like, I'm talking literally half my life type shit.
Yeah.
And like most people, they could just be like, yo, this is like, yeah, I'm from Tuscaloosa, and like that's so you got a lot of pride in Tuscaloosa, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like mine's a little bit split. I think my sound's a little different. I think I go to, it's really different. Like, my vernacular is different just because I have like true experiences in two different places, speaking to people completely different ways. It's almost like speaking two different languages, like dialects and shit. So I feel like it brings a lot of character to my music, and I think like I embrace that more than everything because that's what makes it unique. That's what makes it me. So I feel like it's super important. But I also don't like to box myself, so I don't want nobody to be like, I wouldn't want somebody to be like, oh, he's just a Florida artist or he's just a whatever. Like, nah, like I'm a world artist. Like, I'm like, there ain't no ceiling on me.
Yeah. And I know that firsthand. So let's go back real quick. Let's go back to St. John's University days for a little bit. St. John's, there's a lot of people that have come out of St. John's. If we're going to go back to the 80s with, basketball,
Legends.
Chris Mullin, Mark Jackson, legends, Ron Artest. And then if we want to go to recently, there's an artist, Mariah the Scientist. It's an R&B artist from St. John's, and
She went to St. John's?
She went to St. John's. Yeah, so
That's crazy.
She's killing it now on the R&B stage. And if we want to go back, 15 years or so, J. Cole is one of the known artists out of St. John's. And then yourself. And then there's, lawyers, doctors. There's so many people coming out of that space.
It's a breeding ground.
It definitely is. So while you were there, do you think it's like is it the culture? Was it the culture there? Was it the friendships you've created? Because I know even now you're still real tight with a lot, of the boys from St. John's. So, what do you think it was? Because we were literally in New York City, but it felt like we were somewhere else.
Yeah.
Felt like we was out of town. But we was in the
like
middle of Jamaica, Queens,
right.
New York. So what do you think it was being in that area that's, springing out so many, great people?
Man, I think one, like, if you're at an institution for higher education, You know what I'm saying? For one, like there's ambition there, right? Like,
Okay.
you know, I think that was always baked in. You mix that in with being in the heart of Jamaica, Queens, right? We used to be on the Ave, you know what I'm saying? Being by the Coliseum, you know, getting the square earrings with the crushed diamonds in them and all that, man.
I still got mine at the crib too. Still got mine at the crib.
The big nasties. So yeah, we used to like it was the experience, man. Like that's just it's priceless. I don't really know if I could attribute anything like directly to what but the culture of it was. I mean, I don't know. It's palpable, bro. Like you know, we used to walk on the strip. And, you know, these articles about the strip used to feel like a fashion show, like walking down there. Yeah. You know, you walk out the dorm and you walking down the strip, you make sure your shit was tight. You know what I mean? You make sure you had on your you know, your good Jordans. You had on some
don't be on the strip looking crazy.
Can't be looking bummy on the strip. You know what I'm saying? I had brought the SBs. I was early when I was doing SBs a lot at the time. But yeah, man, I think look, like I think Cole's a massive inspiration. Jermaine's a massive inspiration. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for a fact.
It's crazy because like we experience like talent shows, things like this, and you know we used to hoop together, everything like that, man. And like, you know, and just a solid dude. He say 10 toes, and you know I feel like everybody, man, like, and not even just from a musician standpoint. Like, you know, my manager Max is, you know, we met there, right? That relationship in and of itself.
Max
and
Millie, yes.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of great things. He's director of sports and entertainment at Morgan Stanley. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that, you know, that are amazing. You know what I mean? For young black men to be accomplishing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like I think I mean I don't know if there's another school that got as many legends as St. John's, to be honest. Like, but there's something in the air. There's something in the air there. But the culture was so fun. It was too much fun. Like I said, I lost my scholarship. I had to take my ass back to Broward. So
something in the air, or probably something in the Marillac, the Marillac food court,
in the chicken sandwich.
Yeah, that's a little spot where you didn't go to class, but everybody just hung out there and parlayed and all that.
Had the Quiznos.
Yeah, man. Wow. Burger King and all that, right?
Rolling dice in the bathroom. It's crazy, bro. Jesus.
So let me ask you this. On Marlo's Mount Rushmore, like it could be past artists, it could be current artists, it could be, you know, artists that paved the way for someone like yourself. Who would you put up there? You don't gotta limit it to just 4. Who would be on Marlo's Mount Rushmore? Any genre of music, of course.
Mount Rushmore, I think number 1, I'll put Kanye up there.
Kanye.
Number 1. I know it's a lot of controversy around that man right now, but it speaks to what I said before. Like, you got to take the bad with the good, or what you consider bad with the good. Like, you know, nobody's perfect and all that, but like for what he's creatively, what he's offered the world, like I haven't seen it in my life, my short lifetime. And the way he's affected me, you got to understand, like, when Ye came out, it was really like, you couldn't really be rapping unless you was killing niggas. Like, people had to die in the song.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was so hard, and like, you know, like again, like it was monolithic in how it was presented to the people. So, and he came out with the pink polo and the rugbies and you know, and that's how he was dressing when he was in St. John's. Like, that was real. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you know, the jeans got a little smaller. You know what I mean?
Tighter.
Like, yeah. So
jerseys,
you know,
the
6X. You can't wear the 6X jersey no more. Niggas, I was 130 pounds wearing 4X jerseys with size 42 pants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the jeans that's coming out the belt loop. You got the jeans just coming out like that.
Shout out the academics. I was killing the academics and the Jabot jeans.
Jabot? What? Come on.
All right.
It was a good time. I'm bringing that back, though. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm bringing that. I feel like that vibe. Like, you could do it for this.
I can see you doing something like that.
I just got some NBA jeans. I got the NBA jeans shorts. The NBA jeans. Yeah. I got some of those. I'm about to bring those back for the summertime. Crazy.
You doing something like
we about to spice them up though. We putting some shout out to 53C. You know what I mean? My collaborator as far as like my man's got the brand and I model for it from time to time, but I just love what he does.
Okay.
But yeah, I was talking to him about it. I was like, yo, like we got this record called Penny Loafers. I feel like my next sound is gonna be like I wanted to see because I did Project Florida. I want to sound very New York this time. I want to sound like I want to bring bars to the vibe. I want to do that. Like I want everybody to know like this shit ain't dead. Like and we really chatting. Like we chatting for real. So like with that, I want to bring that back. But then like for me, like creatively, it's like that's where these ideas come from. It's like yo, now I need to go get the NBA jeans, go get the unks, but we gonna spice the unks up. We gonna put a little different twist on it.
Okay.
That I think is gonna be fire. So yeah, we trying to run that whole creative gamut, like blow that out the water.
You just said something. You just said about, you want to bring it back. You want to bring that sound back. This ain't dead.
I still got to do the Mount Rushmore, my fault, but yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh nah, we good. We gonna get back to the Mount Rushmore. But you just tapped into something, and I know your response is gonna be crazy. I just know. So we in 2023. We in this TikTok era.
Yeah.
Instagram era, where music has now been diminished to like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
If it's not a clip, if it's not because, the average listener's, span of hearing music has now went from an album to now a single to now a snippet.
Yeah.
Do you think hip hop, like your hip hop, like hip hop is in a state of emergency right now, or what is the state of hip hop right now in your eyes as a musical artist that's like right in the trenches?
Man, I feel like hip hop is young, man. It's a young genre, right? And I feel like it's the youngest genre, right? And it's the biggest genre. So that's kind of it's tough, but yeah, I just think it's evolving, to be honest, right? And I think I try not to be like mad. Like at the end of the day, like you could go and get a McDonald's burger, or you can go to Philippe's and get what you got to get from Philippe's, or go run down on a Michelin star and go get you a foie gras, something like that, right? Like you have your, not many people might not be coming to get the foie gras, right? But like that's not going to serve as many people as McDonald's is going to serve, and I feel like that's just, I feel like it's in its infancy. I feel like there's artists like myself that are out there. You know what I'm saying? There's artists that are TikTok artists, is just adding a new thing to it.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say it's a state of emergency. I just think because I think when things change and it's such a young sport and everything, and like this technology being introduced to the scene is crazy. Because even like TuneCore, I love TuneCore because like they're like on it. Like as soon as like TikTok started, they started figuring out how to monetize that for artists, right? Yeah. So that's just it's a great way for artists to monetize their stuff. I think I think once it gets confused, once you mix up the filet mignon with the McDonald's burger, that's when it becomes like a little tricky, right?
Okay.
But
I like that.
But that's not but that's not on you, right? That's not on you. You can control what you can control. But I do think it's super, super important for artists to stay true to themselves, because I think, like, I was having this conversation last night with this dude from my man's Rich from SoundCloud, and he was saying that like every artist like mimics somebody to like become who they are, and I was like, I don't think that's true, right? I feel like, and we finalized it is like there's a difference between mimicking and influencing, right? Like influence is different because ultimately I like you know I my metaphor is I do everything like to basketball, so it's like there's a lot of great shooters, but not one person has the same form. There's not a basketball player in this world and another basketball player that had the same exact form, right? Wow. And there's so like for artists, like I think artists that like you know make it like we were talking. It was like it's I think who do we say like he was like yeah well you know without Drake, there's no without Kanye, there's no Drake. I'm like, yeah, of course, but like that's an influence, right? Because when Drake came out, like he was singing the R&B, he was like really R&B singing, and niggas was not here for it. A lot of niggas was like, yo, this is pussy, and all niggas was calling Drake all types of crazy shit back in the day. I loved it from rip. I just felt like it's good music. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like it, but I don't think that he necessarily copied anybody, right? I think he was actually super duper original. Yeah. You know? So yeah, I think like it's important for artists to just like stay true to yourself. And most of the time when you're doing something that's like scary, like, oh my God, people are not like, you know, it's polarizing. That's the shit that's gonna hit. That's the stuff that like that's the stuff that has a sticking power. That's the stuff that's like that you can like build a life off of. Yeah. Like if you just hear somebody go, you know, doing it like, you know, I remember when everybody was doing like the Migos flow a lot, right? Like if like I don't know where any of those guys are. Cause like that's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can say whatever, but like that's like you have to be true to yourself, right? You can't just go out and just carbon copy and expect to, you know, really affect people on a certain level. I think you can make money. I think there's things like that can happen, but I think like really affecting, like I really want to affect people and I want to emote myself, right? My spirit. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I went left.
Those RKL experience, man. We go left, right. We go everywhere. We go everywhere. Now, you mentioned Drake. We got Kanye.
Yes, Kanye. That's Mount Rushmore, right? We going back Mount Rushmore.
You mentioned Drake, Migos, a couple artists. Who else you got up there?
For Rushmore, it's Kanye. For Rushmore, it's Hove.
Okay.
Hove is on a Rushmore just cause like Hove is like LeBron, like he's like been doing it the longest in all the eras and has all the eras. All eras and and when they did God Did, like he came through with that God Did verse and was like, okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? That was it's good. It's good. But like, you know, Reasonable Doubt's probably one of my favorite albums of all time. Okay. And who else? So Ho, Ye, Andre.
Okay.
I love Andre.
3000.
I think I love Andre the most because I feel like, I don't know, for me, he embodies what it means to be a true artist, right? And like somebody that doesn't fold under the pressures of like, it's like how even when like Dave Chappelle gave up the money to go and like that shit is like commendable for me. I remember like even at the height of like their, you know, stardom, Outkast, like Andre went celibate like for a year or something like that in the height of like whatever, and just like shit like that is like like he not getting knocked off his square, but the music is always it's like it's really ATLians. Like he's really like an alien to me. Like how he put it together, like syncopation, like everything, his alliteration, everything, like all the words I learned in like English class. Yeah. He does that creatively, like no other. And
I love the fact that, you know, we're gonna get to your last one. I love the fact that Big Boy, you know, he complimented him so well because he was the opposite. Big Boy was like the prototypical rapper, and you know, but then Andre, they gave each other space to just be them, and that's why Outkast is one of the greatest groups of all time. Like they work together.
The South got something to say. That's what they
All right, so we got 3 stacks.
Stacks.
We got Ye.
Hov.
We got Hov.
Who
else we got?
We got Wayne, bro. God damn, Wayne.
Who's going on tour, by the way, this year?
Yo, he's about to be at the Apollo, man. And
yeah,
I can't get tickets, but I'm gonna try to see what I could do, bro. But Wayne is probably the reason I rap, like straight up. Marillac, bro. I was you know.
Yeah.
Yo, I remember I got damn, what album was that? Damn, see now I'm acting like I don't know the album. It's
It was a Wayne album?
Lights Out. I got Lights Out for Christmas, right? One year. This is early, right? I got Lights Out for Christmas one year, bro. I was the happiest kid on Christmas, bro. Had a CD player. That was back in the day. You go too fast and skip.
Lights Out was like 2002, I think. 2001,
2002, something like that.
2003, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Get Off the Corner was on there.
Yeah.
But and then he started doing the squad up and all. When he started doing squad and all that, he did like the when I heard the Best of Me remix, Carolina Blue Kicks, Carolina. Like when he started doing that, I literally from there said he's the best rapper. And I remember when we was in Marillac, I remember you was it was all us and. I was the only one screaming like top of my lungs, like Lil Wayne is the best of all time. And niggas was roasting me, going crazy, like you a Bama, don't nobody like. But then he came out with and it was crazy because it was like as soon as I got there, I started screaming Lil Wayne, and it's like that year he started dropping. I think No Ceilings and all that was coming out. The Drought 3 came out. That was the next year, I think. But that was in Carter 2 came out. Carter 2, and then everybody just, yo, I ain't gonna lie, niggas started walking in Maryland shaking my hand. Like, yo, listen.
You called it. Oh,
like,
man.
shaking my hand. Like,
wow.
You know, and these is hardcore New York, you know what I mean, hip hop dudes. I was like, so Wayne gotta be up there, man. The way he did it, how he did it, the run, like it's too crazy. Like he's some of those his delivery, like he said on the Goddamn record, like he's like face tats, like his dreadlocks, face tats, all that.
He was the
Apex.
Like
he's out here the Apex. Yeah, they sipping and lean, all that, bro. Wayne is the epitome of what rap looks like physically these days.
And the longevity is like,
and
you put him up there with Tom Brady, with LeBron, like the longevity and being at the height for so long. He's been calling himself the best rapper alive before he even probably knew it. And then now he's on the top of a lot of people's lists.
Big, bro.
It's on the top of a lot of people's lists.
That's big. I was talking to Maya about this, man, and we were talking last night. We was talking about this, like, you know, it's just like the absence of imposter syndrome, right? Like, and like actually like telling yourself, like, yo, like I am the greatest, right? Yeah. Like, and I like Kanye says that stuff a lot. Like he's like, I am the greatest artist of all time. Would you rather me say I am a nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny and shit, but it's like for real. Like, for real. You know, because it's easier to say like, yeah, I'm a nigga, bro. Like that's easy, you know? And so yeah, it's important, I think, to like, I think he willed it. He put that in there, like, you know, he probably didn't fully believe it, but he put that on the board and then went and got it.
Yeah. So yo, Marlo.
Yeah.
Where can we find you? What social media? What platform? I know all the platforms. Like I said, I'm a fan. I got it all. Yeah. But you know, where can we find you? Where can we reach out to you? Yeah. What do you have coming up next? I know me personally, I'm waiting for the album. I know you've been doing EPs and EPs, which are, but me personally, I'm like, I'm stalking his page like, is the album coming? Did he drop? Oh, he dropped the single. That might be on the album. The album. So what's up next before we get on out of here? Where can we find you and what's in store for you?
So I'm gonna do. So I don't know if the album. I got you, but
Okay.
you know what I'm saying.
All right,
Like,
all right,
I don't know.
all right.
I don't know when. I don't know when, but you can find the music everywhere, wherever it's like 250 stores worldwide. Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere. You can find me on Instagram at Marlo MARLO _Smith _. And yeah, man, like I think we're dropping a video tomorrow. Cartier Rollo, we dropping a video for that.
Yes.
It's for Black History Month. The underlying concept is cultural appropriation. So I think you should check it out. It's super original, super dope.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother, for coming on. It's been my pleasure. You've been listening to the RKL Experience, where it's not just a podcast, it's an experience. We out of here. My guy.
Is that decent? Was it decent?
Decent. What? Decent.